Episode 3. What can I say other than the fact that I find it super hilarious that we have the main. Well, I don't think it's the main antagonist, because I doubt that this girl has like the actual way of creating this type of drug. I just think she's a distributor, and also she's a part-time villain. Who would have thought of that? Instead of a part-time hero, it's a part-time villain. So, you know what? I had fun with that. That was like actually what made the highlight of this episode. It's just she is the fangirl of Popstar, who is essentially a vigilante at this point. Well, more of a celebrity, but with the ability of being the analyst that helps Koichi and Knuckleduster. And yet, she is also the antagonist, the one that's causing all of the issues from the last few episodes. However, as I said, I don't think she's the main antagonist. She's probably, in terms of like the series overall, I still think that's all for one. But in terms of this drug, I guess in this case, she is a lackey of high status, because now we got a personality. We see that she's a high schooler, and she is doing evil as a part-time job. Interesting career, madam. But anyway, Koichi doing his school stuff is pretty funny. Like, it just brings up the fact that these guys are doing school, and then they're doing their other shit on the side, which is hilarious. Knuckleduster is the only adult with a job. Though I find it funny that, obviously unmasked, dude looks pretty much what I'd expect. But overall, like, for this episode, it's obviously sort of building things up. That, oh look, this eel person who just wants to be with or get a handshake from Popstar, and the most innocent thing, so he doesn't go completely crazy at first. Like, I just like how she's like trying to cope with this, saying, I'm just a celebrity, this is a fan, this is just a handshake. Although once they do get the handshake, like, it is true what she's saying, which helps her calm down, up until the dude takes a bit more than he should, and then gets his ass whooped by Knuckleduster. But he is so vital to all of this because he saw the face of the person who gave him the drug, which is obviously a step they need in order to catch who is actually creating these. Which Koichi and Popstar decide, like, there's some funny stuff with the main 3 vigilantes. Though I gotta say, I mean, she looks adorable in her like civilian attire. It's kind of funny, but Koichi and Popstar, or I guess the Crawler and Popstar, those two don't want to include Knuckleduster in their plan because he probably just beat the shit out of the kid again. Which, I mean, fair. Though, unironically, they find him in the cafe where they're supposed to meet the kid because they are getting help from the middle schoolers, which I knew they'd be some helpful in from last episode. So, as they attempt to do this, like I said, part-time villain does her thing. A shit ton of people get turned into villains through Trigger. And seeing All Might, Aizawa, Midnight, and other heroes, hell, Ida's brothers here, like so many heroes come in and beat the shit out of these now powered up civilians that are going on a rampage. It kind of shows that if it's not for them, like, our vigilante group, despite if they're like not following the law and going all crazy, like, they're not gonna win against this kind of shenanigans. But it is kind of funny, like I said, the Crawler and Popstar attempt to try to do things behind Knuckleduster's back, and this backfires because the dude is just chilling, like ordering shit in his vigilante attire, which I'm like, kind of find it funny. But I'd like to also point something out. Koichi and Popstar as a couple, sort of. So Koichi, dude is chill, dude wants to help. It's funny that Popstar says, I don't really walk with these, I just leap. And he's like, here, I'll hold on to me. And it's like they're holding on like a couple. And I like it that she's like, I can't be seen like this because people would think I have a boyfriend, which would be him. And he's like, it's just funny. Her expressions of being mad is funny. And then obviously, you know, we meet again with the bee girl. And that whole interaction, like I said, it's all funny shenanigans. But do I ship these two? That is a question. I will hold it off for one more episode. I'll answer it next episode. But I'm leaning a little bit towards it, if you want something. But anyway, back to the main plot. Yes, the whole everything's going nuts. And because of this, obviously, the middle schooler can bring the one who knows who's giving this out. he couldn't really pull it off. Like, they got separated. And B-Girl, like, caught him and it's like, oh, come with me. But I like to also point out, Knuckleduster's pretty good. He saw the bee, he grabbed it, he squashed it, because he's basically, I think he knows that the bees have something to do with this. And this actually hurts the part-time villain. And I find her quirk a bit interesting. I'm kind of curious how that works. But anyway, she is definitely mad because someone had hurt her bees, or one of her bees. And yeah, Knuckleduster, good luck with that. But anyway, what did I think of this episode? It was fun. It had funny moments, serious moments, chaotic moments, and moments that made me laugh. So 9 out of 10.